Hi everybody. Today I'm going to get into the 5 love languages, and I'm going to talk through some tips on how to show your partner love based on their love language. This is really important if you guys have different love languages, because often we're showing each other love but we're missing each other, right? So I'm going to give you some tips on how to better show them love, and also how to recognize when they're showing you love if your languages don't match up. So if you guys haven't taken the love language test, I'll also include a link to that below so you guys can take that and figure out what your love languages are. But the 5 love languages are words of affirmation, quality time, acts of service, physical touch, and gifts. So we all kind of rank different on these, and you can have, you know, the same as your partner or different than your partner, but I like to kind of look at them rank wise. So this is like my number 1, this is my number 2, this is my number 3, and really talk through that with your partner. So it's a great date night activity. Do the test, check in, talk through all of that. And I think it's important for everyone, even if your love languages match, but especially if they don't match. This is crucial to talk about, because a lot of times we are showing love or trying to show people that we care about them, and it's not their love language, so they're not reading it, and they're like, why don't you ever do this? And you're like, I didn't even think to do that, I've been doing this, right? So we need to kind of figure out how to match better. So I have some tips for the different languages and how to kind of match better. And it's really important to recognize this, because we want to both look at, okay, they are doing these things, so they are showing love, so I need to recognize that more. And we also want to be trying to adjust to give them a little bit more of what they need, right? So for me, I give a lot of gifts to show my love. I really like to give thoughtful gifts, and I put a lot of time and effort and love into that. And a lot of people around me, that's not their primary love language, so they don't even like recognize it as much. But when it matches with someone who their primary love language is gifts, they just appreciate that and really, really like that. But now my family and my partner recognize that, okay, this is her love language, so this is really her showing love and appreciation. So they put more into it, and they're like, thank you so much, I appreciate this. And they value it a bit more because they know what it means, right? But I put a lot of time and effort into gifts. So, and I wrote some of these down so I can give you some good tips, not forget them. But I do a lot of baskets for people. So if you're having a hard day, I may get a basket, you know, full of things that may make you feel better, or full of your favorite things. But I also do like different themed baskets for whatever you're doing, like a new job or a new goal, like you're running a race or something. I also do Easter baskets, like really themed Easter baskets. Right now I'm putting together a new father survival kit for my partner. And I just like to do all of those things, and I like to include a lot of things in them that people really enjoy and appreciate. I think a good way to do it sometimes, if you really know someone too, is to do like all their favorite things from their childhood, you know, like candies that they really like. You can even do like a color, like pick a color and put all that stuff in there that's the same color. But those, the key for this one is that they have to be thoughtful gifts. It can't just be like throwing money and gifts at someone. It has to show them that you really care about them and that you've thought about them. So it can be hard to do this for someone when it's not your primary love language, but it's theirs, because it's harder to think that way, right? But it's really the thoughtfulness behind it that matters. Some other tips that I have, if your partner's love language is gifts, are to get things that they've mentioned in passing, or that they've mentioned that they really like. You can check out like their Pinterest boards or like their Amazon wish lists and stuff as well, to see kind of the things that they like. But if you're able to get something that you know they like and they've been talking about without them asking, that really means a lot. Gift baskets, like I said, concert tickets, or like taking them to a show that you know they want to see, that's always a great surprise. Also like souvenirs or things that make you think of them. So after a trip, sometimes I'll send like photos or magnets or something to my family, and you know, just to kind of commemorate that. And I think that's kind of a fun way to do it too, because it's capturing a memory, which is the piece of this. Like we want to feel like you thought of us and that you see us and you care about us, and you want to kind of capture that memory and make us feel loved and appreciated. So that's some tips if their love language is gifts. Quality time. So this is a really big one for people, and it's really the quality of the time that matters to them, right? So make sure if you're trying to give this to somebody that you put your phone away, that it's like distraction-free time. And even if you don't have that much time, if you're like consciously make an effort to really stop and listen to them, to make eye contact, to really try to connect with them in that way, that matters a lot, and that helps. For some couples that I work with, I have them take like 10 minutes, you know, during the day or at night to just really connect and distraction-free, like talk through and listen to each other. Even if it's short, that's good. But obviously like date nights are really good, setting aside bigger blocks of time, weekends, that kind of thing. Even if it's like a staycation, right? Just so you have that quality time to give. Again, distraction-free, no social media, no anything like that. That's a big piece of it. Yeah, so just really quality time. That's my tips there. Words of affirmation. So for people that this ranks high, they need to hear that you care about them. They need to hear that verbalized. They need to hear, I love you. They need to hear, thank you. I appreciate you, right? They need to hear all of those things. And some other little ways that I think are really good to do it are to leave notes, like leave notes in their backpack or their suitcase or in their car. Just leave little notes around so they can have those word reminders. Give them compliments, kind of hype them up, build them up when they're feeling down, or just, you know, just to make them feel good. And also send like a nice text or an email or something for no reason, just to put it out there and tell them how much you care about them. And those people that value that really appreciate those words. And it's important that you say them verbally as well. Like they really enjoy hearing that, but also the notes and things can supplement and help a lot of times. And not just for holidays, not just for special occasions, just for no reason, right? All right, so the next one is acts of service. So this is doing something to kind of ease their chore or ease their burden, or do something to kind of really help them, like, you know, groceries, shopping, chores, that kind of thing. Those things count for this. These people really value this. And this one I think was interesting because growing up, this is my dad's primary love language. So he will show you love by service. And I don't even think it's his primary to receive, but that's how he shows love, right? So when I recognized that, I was like, oh, like when he offers to look at the car or fix this or look at something, that's him showing that he cares. So when you're more conscious of that, you appreciate it more when the person does that, right? But these, yeah, like wash their car, clean up for them, do something like without asking, like take in the dry cleaning or have the house clean when they get home, fill up the gas tank, pack their lunch. What was the other one? Oh, if they, you know, you need to bring something to a party or an event, you have that ready, or you offer to take that, or you just offer up things to do and you see what they need. Like, okay, well, they're really stressed and I know they wanted to get this done, but they can't, so I'm gonna do that for them. So that's really helpful. And this is helpful for everybody, right? So with all of these, everyone likes all of these things. So doing all of these things or picking from the list and doing these things is really helpful, obviously. No one's gonna be mad if you help them out and do something that they really need done. But if it's your primary and someone doesn't ever do that, then you're not really gonna feel as loved and appreciated, right? So you have to kind of make more of an effort if it's their primary love language. And the last one is physical touch. So this I see kind of people struggle with when they get longer into relationships. Physical touch kind of goes out the window, at least like in little ways as well, like little and big ways, I guess. But a lot of times I have couples make an effort to like touch each other when they're walking by, like give them a hug, just like even just like touch them on the shoulder, anything. Just as I'm passing you, I'm letting you know that I see you. Because if this is your primary love language and that's not happening because things are busy and you have work and kids and it's just chaos, then they're not going to feel that love like they really need to and want to. So just little ways to make an effort to touch them. And that's natural if you also value this, but you wouldn't even think of it probably if it's not your primary. So really make an effort to try to do that. Obviously holding hands, hugs, anything like that, that really means a lot to them. Cuddling, obviously, kissing them randomly, hello, goodbye, and just randomly. Massages, obviously, things like that, like, hey, can I rub your feet, or anything like that. Like, that goes a really long way, obviously. And then also to make an effort to touch them when you're in public. I think that can kind of create a, I don't know, not just like a connection, but a layer of safety, especially like, okay, we're in a place that's new to you, or I'm taking you out on a business trip with my people or something. If you make an effort to touch them or hug them or check in and touch their arm and say, hey, are you okay? Like, you know, those things go a long way. So you can see that how this could kind of miss if we're not conscious of it, because if I'm not thinking about this being important, then I'm just not really going to make an effort to do it. But if I know that this is what you value, then I'm going to really try hard to do it. And sometimes it's hard because if you're naturally not super verbal and you're more physical, or you do more acts of service, or you're more comfortable with gifts, then it's hard to really verbalize how you feel. But it's so important to work on these with your partner. And I think talking about it is also really important, because you guys want to understand where the struggles are. Like, this is really hard for me, but I know it's important to you, so I'm working on it. And this is how I'm working on it. And you want to keep checking in with each other. And that also creates space in that where you can give them some of that, right? That's quality time. That's space for words of affirmation. That's showing that you care, because I'm creating this space to try to talk to you and show you that I do care about you. So I try to urge people to check in with these things pretty often, because we want to see how we're doing. Like, hey, I've been really trying to do this. Is it working? Have you felt like I've appreciated you? Like, what would you like to see differently? What would you like to see more of? And you guys can kind of share back and forth and really make an effort to show love to them like they want it, and also to recognize the love they're giving to you, right? Even if it's not your primary. You're like, okay, I know acts of service aren't my primary, but they've been doing a lot of that, and I appreciate that because I know that's coming from a loving place. So have a conversation about it, keep talking about it, and then talk about it some more, which isn't comfortable if that's not your thing, but it's really important to do and to keep working on and keep checking in about. And I even take the test over sometimes. Like, if you haven't done the test for 5 years or something, take it again and see what your love languages are. And if it doesn't fit for you, then it doesn't fit for you. Change them, right? You know what your languages are. You can order them and you can see what you value. So yeah, those are my tips. If you guys have any other tips that you try with your partner, or things that you like, feel free to share those and comment those below. And also reach out to me if you guys need anything, if you need any help. Email me, reach out to me on my website, and I am happy to help. All right, guys, have a good day.